basketball team split a pair of games last week, winning on the road on Valentine's Day at Northwestern Wednesday evening and then coming home Saturday and falling to Nebraska. Purdue will have 2 games again this week, 1 at home, 1 on the road. Wednesday night, Mackey Arena will be the site. Michigan State comes to town for a 7 o'clock tip. And then Sunday, the Boilermakers travel to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. That one will tip off at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Of course, we'll have those games and all the rest of the schedule right here on Bob FM. Good evening, everybody. It is the Katie Gearlds Show. We're going to be joined by the head coach here just momentarily. Also, Caitlin Harper will be joining us a little bit later on in the program. We'll talk about her 6th and final season with the Boilermakers, 4 in Cal Poly and then Cal Baptist, 4 Cal Baptist, and then 2 here at Purdue. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happened this last week and then look ahead here to not only the final weeks of the regular season, but also to the Big Ten tournament, which is just around the corner here a couple of weeks away. You can follow along here not only on Bob FM if you're listening to us, but we're on Purdue Athletics on Facebook and all of the social media channels. We'll be watching on Facebook. Let us know where you're watching, and we'll try to give you a shout-out. We will have the head coach with us next. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Open look on the right wing for Caitlin Harper. Bullseye. She's got 7 now to match Ellis. Katie Gearlds squad.
Yeah, definitely very impressed.
Player only averages 1.3 points per game. Gets her first bucket. Number 3 on the way, and how about the friendly roll away from home for Madison Layden? 9 now for Purdue. Here's another look at that last 3. Such a smooth stroke for Madison Layden, who shoots. She's there to keep it right here. Finds Caitlin Harper, the high archer. There's Terry again. 3rd shot of the possession, and Layden makes it count with her 3rd triple. Bailey had 6 early points today. Tina was looking for her, but she wasn't looking. Was already cut into the basket. And Ellis on the fast break gets the layup, and she's there right at 1,000 points. Patiently probing against Northwestern. They get a wide open layup down low for Caitlin Harper. Northwestern has not eclipsed 20 points yet. That's a tough shot. That was tipped. Harper got a piece of it. 19-0 run at the moment. They swing it around beautifully again. 22-0 run in the 3rd quarter. What an incredible spurt this has been from the visitors. Another rebound for Terry, too, who's up to 12. Picked up her 6th assist. She might have a 7th here, and she does as Abby Ellis gets her 2nd triple. She's got a game-high 14.
It's one of the biggest scoring runs that I've seen in college basketball this year. And you know that your future is set with those freshmen, but at the same time, you have someone to guide them while they are still freshmen.
You wonder how much room for growth this Purdue team has. You think it's boundless going towards next year as Madison Layden.
She has to be one of the most selfless players out there. 12 rebounds, 11 assists, only 1 point. You don't see a double-double very often with those stat lines.
In arena, and they might win.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. And we are joined by the head coach. A split on the week. Let's start with the good news, Katie. You were looking for your first Big Ten road win of the season, and coming off a performance that was not great against Indiana on the road, I think you and I both wondered what we were going to see Wednesday night, and to our happiness, it was a 27-0 run in the middle of that game that really broke that one open.
Yeah, I thought Janae really came out with a lot of great pace to start the game. You know, we responded after the Indiana game to really tough competitive practices, and then just kind of took it on the road. And you know, Northwestern missed some opportunities, but we took advantage of them. And when we got open shots, we knocked them down. It was a 10-point game there in the 2nd quarter. And then all of a sudden at halftime we had a 17, 19-point lead, whatever it was, and then it just kind of exploded there in the 3rd quarter.
The pink jerseys came through for you again because you had worn those in the home game against Illinois. That was their play for K game last Wednesday night. I thought they did a nice thing before the game. Joe McEwen spoke to the crowd and talked about the fact he had lost his sister in the offseason, and you went out and the team went out and presented a check on behalf of both teams.
Yeah, really special moment. Obviously, we got a lot of respect for Coach McEwen and everything he's done in his career. You know, when he asked us to do this, we were humbled, you know, and for him to talk about his sister and just kind of share that moment with us. And then the national anthem was really, really special. And you know, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, this team's about to be really fired up, and our group just responded. Thank you. So yeah, just proud of us, but thankful to Joe for giving us that opportunity.
Well, and the one thing you know about Joe McHugh and teams, you're going to see a little bit of everything. I think it's certainly not his most talented team right now at Northwestern, and I thought that, you know, they were hanging in the game until the middle of the second quarter. They were 24-17, and that's when you went on the spurt, and you look up, and all of a sudden it's 51-17.
Yeah, it was a run that I don't know that I've ever really been a part of. Good to be on the good side there. But yeah, you know, shots went down for us. We got stops. We did a decent job of boxing out. Didn't turn the ball over. Got good looks. Even when, you know, it was 24-17 or whatever it was, we were getting good looks. The ball was moving. We had 24 assists on 29 made shots. So just a good night where we were just moving and sharing the basketball.
Abby Ellis hit a milestone for you. She'd been looking to crack that 1,000-point mark after her days at Cal Poly. She scored 818 points there, and then she became the 12th fastest to 1,000 as a Boilermaker, and I think fittingly it was a long lead pass from Janae Terry on a fast break that got Abby the 1,000.
Yeah, we had a set run out of called out of the start the second half, so she could get it over with and you know, maybe stop thinking about it so much. But good to get a little steal. JT threw the ball out, and I don't think anybody was going to outrun Abby to get that 1,000th point.
And it's always nice when you can empty the bench, get everybody a little playing time, especially at this point in the season. First of all, it helps morale with your bench players, but also it allows you to get some of your starters off the floor and get some rest.
Yeah, I think there was a time, I think Caitlin had a really, really solid game for us, and there was a time, you know, she had 17, and I heard Elena behind me like, oh, I want her to get 20, and I was like, well, she's got about 40 seconds because that was all that was left in the third quarter if she's going to get it, because we knew she wasn't going to play the fourth quarter.
You were able to get the win. I'm sure it was a much happier bus ride back, and probably some of the pressure relieved, not only from you, but also the players. I mean, it's hard when you go a long time and don't get rewarded for your efforts.
It is. It's been tough. January was tough. It's been tough on the road. Obviously, we haven't talked about the Nebraska game, and we will. But this group has kind of stayed with it. They keep fighting. You know, I think Caitlin and you know, Laisha's here in the background here. Good to have her back in town, but. You know, she's been in practice with our group works really, really hard. It just hasn't translated to wins.
Well, Laisha Petrie, you mentioned, is here, and we've talked about the fact of how much you miss her leadership and scoring. Cassidy Harden, you know, you had Ricky Waltman last year, and those players, sometimes it goes beyond the numbers, but the numbers count too, and they put up some big numbers for you.
Yeah, they did. You know, you could always count on Ricky to rebound outside of her area, Cass to take a charge or knock down a timely three. But Laisha's ability just to get a bucket when you needed it, you know, it's something that we miss, and just watching her in practice, just her joy has kind of lifted everybody's spirits here. So it's good to have her back. I hope she plays a long time, but whenever she wants to stop, I hope that we can maybe find a way to get her back here.
Well, you know, those COVID rules are a little strange. Do you think there's any way we can get a
We
few
were
more
just kind of
games out of
talking
her?
about it.
I mean, everybody else gets extra games, right?
I think we can petition for Caitlin to get a 7th year and maybe Laisha to come back for another one.
All right, we'll talk more about that and talk about the Nebraska game as well when we come back. It's the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Makers will have their first chance to put a staple on this game. Layden early there. Sends it down. It's been a roller coaster ride. I mean, it's been a roller coaster year kind of for both teams, but as mentioned last week, Nebraska defeated number 2 Ira as Ellis puts that one down. They then had to meet the new number 2 in Ohio State. Post in the nation. I mean, for the Boilermakers, the away record has obviously been a poor one as Terry needs work with the high post, and Ashley Stevenson puts up that mid-range one, but make sure it goes all the way, gets more control.
Yeah, this is an extremely physical game, but the referee's letting it go as another strip.
They are definitely letting it play. Ashley Stevenson drives it up, gives it to Harper. And back to Ashley Stevenson and puts that one down.
Yeah, Rashonda Jones has been big off the bench usually this year, and you know, the bench they have good options, and there's a foul on the shot.
Senior leadership in Madison Layden. Back to the freshman. And the other freshman, Ashley Stevenson, from the corner, sends that one down and into Madison Layden. There's a bounce pass, which ends up bouncing just to herself. She able to collect it. Ellis, space on the wing, sends it up, sends it down. And the Aussie gets us going in this second half. Surprised myself there wasn't a foul call there, but It isn't, ends up just being an air ball. Ellis drives, gets the foul, gets the points. And the Boilermakers starting to wait back up here. Wasn't able to help it. That was quite the handoff, but apparently it was fine. Madison Layden, a second attempt at a three. That time it goes down.
She knows that if she can just have her right there, she can't push through her or else she's going to foul out, and that's going to be a big loss for Nebraska.
Ellis drives. This time doesn't go under the hoop, but goes up to it.
Or you could just get back in it, but then immediately Nebraska just hits a big shot, and just not much you can do.
Smith sends that up, sends it down. Big play by Jayla Smith. And the Boilermakers answer. And the Boilermakers will have their first chance to put a staple on this game. Layden early there, sends it.
Everyone needs a little playing time, so before a Purdue basketball game or any time throughout the week, stop by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Again, 2 games this week will be on at 6:45 Wednesday night when the Boilermakers take on Michigan State. We'll talk a little bit more about the Spartans later in the show. We saw today, though, earlier on the holiday here today, we had some games during one game in the Big Ten during the day, and Illinois at home beat Indiana by 20. Probably knocked the Hoosiers out of Big Ten title contention. And for Illinois, a chance for them to try to move up.
Ooh, the crowd likes that one.
There you go. That's cheap applause, but we'll take it. We'll take it. It just shows that every day, every game is different. You know, the sun comes up and you reset everything, and there's always time. I think that's the message here is there's always time to turn things around.
Just like, you know, we talked about it with our group, like, some crazy things could happen here down the stretch. But we kid Laisha back here. Laisha threw a couple air punches last year.
I do remember.
Yeah, probably would get her kicked out this time of day. But no, it's just an unfortunate event.
Speaking of shots to the face, Mary Ashley Stevenson took another one on Saturday, playing already with the already fixed broken nose. Any update on how she's doing? Or
yeah, went to the doc today. Saturday we thought it was broken. You know, looked out of line. Went to the doctor today, pretty swollen still, so hard to see. Because she just had surgery, the doctor is hopeful that maybe it just hadn't quite healed, so it was able to find its way back to normal. So she's still pretty swollen. She'll go back next week to see if it is broken. She's going to play through it. Yep. You know, the mask is going to be worn, and if it's something that has to be fixed, then she'll play through it, and when we're done, you know, it's probably one of those things you go in and re-break it, and because it's going to heal crooked, so then you go in and re-break it and get the thing fixed, but 20 will be out there.
There you go. We'll have more in 2 minutes. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Lear. Terry on the baseline. It's a back off Stevenson. Stevenson drives. Stevenson with the left hand up and good. Mary Ashley has scored 8. Terry kicks it inside to Stevenson. Nice catch and a layup good. Beautiful feed from Janae Terry. Terry throws a pass inside to Stevenson, who catches and lays it in.
That's a tough catch. That ball was soaring out of bounds.
And the Rainbow 3 drops.
Louisiana. Lafayette Limo, family-owned, women-owned, serving Greater Lafayette for 33 years. Shuttles to and from Indianapolis and O'Hare Airport 365 days a year. Make your reservations now at LafayetteLimo.com. Lafayette Limo, proud supporter of Purdue Athletics. Okay. We're going to take another break then. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Pressure of winning away from you. Literally rip up the stat sheet, let it go, 0-0, new month for us, it starts right now. The streak ends and the new one starts for us. All right, let's go.
To win home games in the Big Ten, you have to do all you can to control getting that home win.
Illinois controls the tap. Up and under with the right, banks at home, 2-0 Purdue. Here's Swanson in the front court, handing it off to Terry. Terry drives to a cutting Ellis, and Ellis lays it in. Terry with a crossover dribble. No, look pass to Harper, who lays it in good.
Another dive by Janae Terry.
Hello, behind the back jumper, good. Guess who? Janae Terry. An 11-point lead for the Purdue Boilermakers.
0-0, win the third quarter. That's our focus, win the third quarter. Yeah, everybody keep doing your job. 1 through 13, keep doing exactly what you said we're going to do. Go get this. Okay, go.
Parries a triple.
Terry looking. Terry lobs it to Madison Layden. Alley-oop, good. She's got 10 here in the quarter. We've reached the end of 3 here at Mackey. Our score, Purdue 52, Illinois 44.
Shot clock turned off. McKenzie, tie game in West Lafayette. And we are headed to OT.
Stevenson has position inside. She's double teamed. Lays it up and in anyway.
Layden ends a 2-minute scoring drought and gives Purdue a 1-point lead.
Shot clock at 12. Terry in the corner. Harper fires a 3. Yes! Caitlin Harper with the triple!
And Stevenson is 7 for 7 from the line tonight. Clutch. And that will do it. Purdue picks up their 500th program win at Mackey and snaps a 7-game skid.
The only thing that matters is that Purdue has more points. That's the only thing that needs to matter the whole month. The whole month. Like, forget how many points you're averaging. Forget how many points you scored so far this season. The only thing that matters in the next game is that Purdue has more points.
Open look on the right wing for Caitlin Harper. Bullseye. She's got 7 now to match Ellis. Katie Gearlds squad.
Yeah, definitely very impressed.
Player only averages 1.3 points per game. Gets her first bucket. Another 3 on the way, and how about the friendly roll away from home for Madison Layden? 9 now for Purdue. Here's another look at that last 3. Such a smooth stroke for Madison Layden, who shoots. She's there to keep it right here. Finds Caitlin Harper, the high archer. There's Terry again. Third shot of the possession, and Layden makes it count with her 3rd triple. Bailey had 6 early points today. Tina was looking for her, but she wasn't looking, was already cut into the basket. And Ellis on the fast break gets the layup, and she's there right at 1,000 points. Patiently probing against Northwestern. They get a wide open layup down low for Caitlin Harper. Northwestern has not eclipsed 20 points yet. That's a tough shot. That was tipped. Harper got a piece of it. 19-0 run at the moment. They swing it around beautifully again. 22-0 run. The third quarter. What an incredible spurt this has been from the visitors. Another rebound for Terry, too, who's up to 12. Picked up her 6th assist. She might have a 7th here, and she does as Abby Ellis gets her 2nd triple. She's got a game-high 14.
It's one of the biggest scoring runs that I've seen in college basketball this year, and you know that your future is set with those freshmen, but at the same time you have someone to guide them while they are still freshmen.
You wonder how much room for growth this Purdue team has. You think it's boundless going towards next year as Madison Layden.
She has to be one of the most selfless players out there. 12 rebounds, 11 assists, only 1 point. You don't see a double-double very often with those stat lines.
In arena, and they might win by 30+ today.
And for Northwestern.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. By the way, apologies. I think we've just got everything fixed now, sound-wise. Again, Wes Scott did a tremendous job troubleshooting for us. We're going to give Wes a round of applause. That's live radio for you, folks, and live Facebook and all that stuff. Time for the Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student-athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at IndianaKitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler-made. Couple of players still playing in Spain right now. Ariana Harris had a big game, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 block shots in a 63-58 win on Saturday night. Aya Traore, also playing in Spain, had 11 points and 7 rebounds, but her team lost 81-63. Still, we'll point out the 40-year-old Aya Traore is averaging almost 12 points and 9 rebounds a game playing professionally. I don't think 40-year-old Caitlin Harper playing professionally, probably not in the cards. Is that
No.
pretty good? Okay. What is the plan here? So you're you hopefully play for 3 or 4 or more weeks here, and then what?
Yeah, that is.
And I know your mom and dad are probably watching, so they're probably wanting to see the answer to this too.
Yeah, they probably want to know the answer to that, and I also want to know the answer to that. I think she might have an answer.
Katie would like you to stick around.
Yeah.
So you've got an undergraduate degree and a master's degree in accounting.
Yes, I also have another master's in human resources that I'm getting this year. So I'll be covered in the business area.
So yeah, I mean, obviously there's opportunities for that in the business area, but we'll see. We might end up around here.
Well, you and I talked, though, you had to make the choice, first of all, if you're going to play a fifth year and go to another school, which you did, and then you had the decision to make after last season, am I going to play a sixth year? And you decided to do that. You told me earlier you think that maybe that helped you get some of this basketball. You would have always wondered if you had not taken that extra year, what if I'd taken that sixth year of play?
Yeah, I 100% made the right choice to take the sixth year. I think if I didn't, I would probably regret it for a very long time and wonder what would have happened if I did. Just something about college basketball, you just want to play it as long as you can. So there really wasn't a reason that I shouldn't have taken it.
And a unique situation for you because your sister Elena joined us after playing her freshman season in Grand Canyon. So one of three sister combinations on this team. How has that been for you?
Yeah, it's been fun. Obviously, we've never played together, so we've never been at practice together, done all that stuff. So it's been fun, and yeah, I live with her too. So it's a little. So
that's kind of like the old days. Well, how hard is it being? You're a teammate, but you're a sister.
Yeah.
So sometimes maybe do you have to yell at each other? Do you have to? I mean, how does that all work?
No, we don't really yell at each other. It's more like snippy little comments here or there.
I see.
Rather than yelling.
I see. Not just outright. So it's more that I get
the sarcastic comments.
And those are the ones that bite the hardest.
I know.
Talk about this team. For people who don't, they see this team on the court at Mackey. What's it like in the locker room? What is this team like away from the court?
Yeah, I think it's funny because, obviously we haven't translated to a lot of wins in the Big Ten right now, but in the locker room, the team is one of the closest teams I've been on, and I have a lot of really good friends on this team, and I think we've done a really good job of just sticking together. And the thing is, we spend so much time together. We hang out together outside of just being at practice, and I think that goes a long way in just showing that no matter what happens on the court, we have each other's back at the end of the day. And so that's been really special to me, especially since there's such a huge age gap. I'm 24 and I have 18-year-old teammates, so the way that we've been able to come together and kind of grow as a group has been special.
So do you find yourself making reference to television shows and music that you kind of get that blank look?
Yes.
There
and
you
that
go.
has never happened to me. But yes, me and Abby were talking about, I don't even know what we were talking about, but there was some TV show that we were talking about back in the day, and everyone was just looking at us like we were crazy. And I was like, we are not that old. But it makes me feel old sometimes.
Is there a body part of yours that does not hurt by this point in the season?
That's a great question.
Because you've been, we've kind of held you together with some baling wire and some duct tape, and you've been able to get to the floor and be very productive in the Big Ten. But I know it's been hard for you on some games to get out on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do. That's
our trainer, Jess, is my best friend. She helps me out a lot.
It's amazing how many student athletes leave here saying that, and they come back, and the first person they want to talk to is Jess.
Yes,
Jess kept them together.
I spend a lot of time with her.
Well, let me say, we're thrilled that you came to Purdue for year 5. We're even more thrilled that you came to Purdue for year 6 and maybe year 7, 8, 9, whatever. Stick around for a while.
Might be a few more.
There we go. All right, we'll have the head coach back with us in a couple of minutes. It's the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Lakers will have their first chance to put a staple on this game. Layden early there. Sends it down. It's been a roller coaster ride. I mean, it's been a roller coaster year kind of for both teams, but as mentioned last week, Nebraska defeated number 2 Iowa as Ellis puts that one down. They then had to meet the new number 2 in Ohio State. Post in the nation. I mean, for the Boilermakers, the away record has obviously been a poor one as Terry needs work with the high post, and Ashley Stevenson puts up that mid-range one, but make sure it goes all the way, gets more control.
Yeah, this is an extremely physical game, but the referee's letting it go as another strip.
They are definitely letting it play. Ashley Stevenson drives it up, gives it to Harper. And back to Ashley Stevenson and puts that one down.
Yeah, Rashunda Jones has been big off the bench usually this year, and the bench they have good options, and there's a foul on the shot.
Senior leadership in Madison Layden. Back to the freshman. And the other freshman, Ashley Stevenson, from the corner, sends that one down, and into Madison Layden. There's a bounce pass, which ends up bouncing just to herself. She able to collect it. Ellis, space on the wing, sends it up, sends it down. And the Aussie gets us going in this second half. Surprised myself there wasn't a foul call there, but it isn't. Ends up just being an air ball. Ellis drives, gets the foul, gets the points. And the Boilermakers starting to wait back up here. Wasn't able to help it. That was quite a handoff, but apparently it was fine. Madison Layden, a second attempt at a three. That time it goes down.
She knows that if she can just have her right there, she can't push through her or else she's going to foul out, and that's going to be a big loss for Nebraska.
Ellis drives. This time doesn't go under the hoop, but goes up to it.
Or you could just get back in it, but then immediately Nebraska just hits a big shot, and just not much you can do.
Smith sends that up, sends it down. Big play by Jayla Smith. And the Boilermakers answer. And the Boilermakers will have their first chance.
Everyone needs a little playing time, so before a Purdue basketball game or any time throughout the week, stop by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. We do want to check in on our Facebook page tonight. Ira from Swamico, John from Littlestown, Pennsylvania, Sheila's in Remington, Diane, I'm assuming probably down in Austin, Texas tonight. Brianna's over in Muncie. She's going to be here for senior night. Carol from Beach Grove. And again, I apologize. We are happy that we got the sound back and we were able to hear the second segment of Caitlin Harper, and we appreciate her coming out. There's a question on here. What do you see as your biggest weakness this year? We heard in the last show when Matt Painter was here talking about the fact that when they don't turn the ball over, they win. I mean, the 3 losses that Purdue's had this year on the men's side, all attributable to high turnovers. We were talking, it's just, I think, the inability night after night to hit shots. You're getting good shots in the offense, you just can't hit the shots.
Yeah, I think just consistently making shots has been our biggest just obstacle this year. You know, obviously we lose games when we turn the ball over, but we turned the ball over 7 times against Nebraska. We took 3 more shots than they did. You know, they hit a couple more threes and got to the free throw line more than I did. But it's just been our consistency shooting the basketball has been something that we just quite haven't overcome.
Had the opportunity with some of the alums back on Saturday to reconnect with some old friends. Also last week when we went to Northwestern, Cindy Lamping and Shannon Lindsay, who were members of the first Purdue Final Four team in 1994, were there, so it was great to catch up with them. But I waved to Sam Ostrello, didn't get a chance to talk to Sam, and I was kind of bummed about that. Adriana Keys was back. She is back now. She was playing in Poland last year, would like to continue to play professionally, but right now she's rehabbing a knee injury.
Yeah, that's tough as we get older. Rehabbing is, I think I tore my meniscus the other night in the game just stomping my foot, so just got to figure that one out. But you know, it was so good to have people back that haven't been back. You know, Hannah is in town and I always see her, but like having Beth Jones,
yes.
You know, and Beth was a senior my freshman year and really took me under her wing, and just having her back and, you know, her willingness to try to help us reconnect with, you know, different generations. And, you know, she's already put a Facebook message out to, you know, past alums to try to get them reconnected with the program. To see her family, to see Beth's kids all around.
5, 6, and 7-year-old boys.
Yeah, you know, just so cool. You know, and I hope that, you know, we brought everybody in the circle at shoot around, and I hope that, you know, our goal for next year, that circle is bigger, and then it just keeps growing and growing. You know, at one point in time, and probably still to this day, Purdue was a really special place, or is a special place to all of us, and definitely was for the years that we were here. So just getting people to remember what this place was for them.
Laisha Petrie, you mentioned, is here. She played professionally, had some big numbers in the offseason. She's also rehabbing some injuries, so trying to get back to where she can play again.
Yeah, she will, and you know, the kid should play as long as she can. She's been in practice with us, getting buckets on us, but you know, just I mean, you see people come back, and you know, Laisha was a part of our program for 1 year, but to see the crowd respond to her and love on her, it's just special.
Saw Abby Abel, she's still in Indianapolis doing some auditing. Nora Kiesler, who is down working in San Antonio with the Spurs, is back up in her hometown of Louisville. She's working in marketing, and it was great to see Dominique Oden who's using her engineering degree. She's actually working for an engineering firm now down in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was great, and she was here that first summer I was here. She was still a GA finishing up her master's, so just a really cool group of people, and to get them reconnected and just trying to make our circle grow stronger and stronger.
All right, we'll have the final segment of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union after this on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield. Terry on the baseline. It's a back off Stevenson. Stevenson drives. Stevenson with the left hand up and good. Mary Ashley has scored 8. Terry kicks it inside to Stevenson. Nice catch and a layup good. Beautiful feed from Janae Terry.
That's a dime.
Terry throws a pass inside to Stevenson, who catches and lays it in.
That's a tough catch. That ball was soaring out of bounds.
And the Rainbow 3 drops.
This week's game plan is presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, home of the official credit union for Purdue fans. Learn more about their products and services at PurdueFed.com. We've seen both of the teams that you're going to play this week. We saw Michigan State up in East Lansing, and they put up 97 on the board, and they are probably one of the bigger surprises to me in the Big Ten, because you look at their roster, Katie, and it's a lot of kids that didn't play a lot maybe their first few years or were okay, and now all of a sudden they're scoring like crazy.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. They just play free. They play with an edge. A couple players that start didn't make our scout last year, and that's not a disrespect for who they were. They just weren't getting the minutes. Right. And what Robin has done to just allow them the freedom to kind of just play basketball and just hoop is in, like, they all shoot it, they all drive it, they space you out. They're tough-minded. They press you. They don't care if you score 80 because they know they're going to score 90, right, kind of thing.
Then Wisconsin on Sunday. We took care of Wisconsin earlier in the season, but an entirely different team because Sarah Williams, who really they revolve everything on both ends of the floor around, did not play in that game. So we know it's going to be a whole different animal up in Madison.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And obviously we've been to Wisconsin, and it hasn't ended well for us. That first year we were here. But yeah, Sarah obviously changes the game on both ends of the floor. An elite athlete, rebounder, scorer inside, puts pressure on your defense. So expect a different game with them. But for us, it's trying to figure out how do we break Michigan State's press and how do we stop them from scoring 90 points.
I want to throw a couple of numbers up with Mary Ashley Stevenson because we're getting close to where people are going to be voting for all conference and all freshman teams. Mary Ashley is one of 13 Purdue freshmen in the last 30 years who scored in double figures at least 13 times. And some of the other people on that list, Katie Gearlds, Katie Douglas, Sharika Wright, Stephanie White, those are real people.
Yeah, those are some pretty good names.
And then she's one of 11 Purdue freshmen ever who scored 250 points and grabbed 125 rebounds, and she's not done with her freshman year yet.
Yeah, we've got a few more games left. MA has really done a good job. The kid has continually worked, once, twice a week, mostly twice. We tried to not let her do it 3 times. Like, she's getting extra work in, and her improvement as the season has progressed. Like, everybody keeps, we were kind of talking the other day, everybody keeps talking about how tough she is. She's tough. Like, she's pretty skilled. Like, she's also tough, but, like, she's pretty skilled too. And she's just going to keep getting better and better. I hope we can, find a way to win some games down the stretch. I don't know that there's been a more important freshman in the Big Ten than what Mary Ashley has been for us.
All right, the Boilermakers have a lot to play for this week, trying to avoid, if they can, the first night of the Big Ten tournament. But it all starts on Wednesday night against Michigan State. Good luck against the Spartans.
Appreciate it, Tim.
All right, thanks again to our engineer tonight, Wes Scott, for his troubleshooting. Our producer, Roger Forsyth. Video produced by McCarty Cummings. Want to thank Caitlin Harper for stopping by. Boilermakers against the Michigan State Spartans. We'll have that one starting at 6:45 on Wednesday night. For the head coach, I'm Tim Newton. This has been the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union and the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.